Üdvözlök mindenkit, én Örömszín tudok, és ez itt most a Kipróbáltam következő része lesz, és most a Thomas Vászkálót fogunk kipróbálni, ami most a napokban került.
Thomas was alone. Wow, a weird first thought to have.
Hozzám. És... oké. Értem. Tehát... Vörös-színű négyzetem. Mármint... téglatest.
Thomas decided to start listing his observations for posterity. 1. The whole alone thing.
Elméletileg azt hallottam, hogy ez
Portals. They led somewhere.
stratégiai...
He'd yet to...
nem, ügyességi... játék. Ügyesség is, nem mindjárt.
Okay, interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block.
Vagy na.
Think, damn it, think! What if there was some kind of... a big jump? But Thomas noted... this all seemed a little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted. It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let...
És tudom, hogy a sztorit nem olvasom, de kicsit sem értem. Oda felkérem.
Thomas wondered whether the portals were actually taking him anywhere. He felt like he was making progress, but there wasn't really... It might have been paranoia again, but Thomas could have sworn the world was becoming more complicated. It always seemed to be one step ahead of his skills. It had been designed just for him. He wondered why. Was the world testing him? No, too obvious. Something about the boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas. He didn't like it. He certainly didn't want to swim in it. He made another mental note. 4. Water. Not good. To be avoided. The loneliness was getting to Thomas. No amount of observation or obsessive note-taking could combat that. Thomas had a new theory. The world was training him. He could feel himself getting smarter. There was the mental list to consider. Over the minutes and seconds since his spontaneous generation, he'd become a pretty skilled jumper. He was evolving. He just wished he had someone to share it with. Chris took an immediate and deep dislike to the skinny red rectangle. Who the hell did this Thomas think he was? Chris had been doing fine. He wasn't the highest jumper, but he'd held his own. He'd even been graceful at times. Well, not actually. Not technically graceful, it's probably the wrong word, but you know, fine. He was that skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place. A glowy white thing.
Szükségesen.
Only Chris could get to it, which of course made it all the more enticing.
Szerintem ez
What would it
kontinúlt,
do?
tehát
What new opportunity might this switch open up to him?
most így nem látom.
Great. Another chance for Thomas to jump slightly higher than Chris. How fortunate. Seriously, this made the whole switch pressing thing entirely worthwhile.
De mondom még. Végül is logikus. És amúgy remélem, hogy ez nem hangos, de nem találtam meg az beállítást, amivel ilyen területek.
Because on the surface, it did not seem good. Chris was pretty scared. Little Red seemed fine, happy to be on his merry little adventure. Chris couldn't shake the feeling that things had taken a significant turn for the worse since Thomas had joined him. Sure, he'd been able to piggyback his way to ever so slightly higher platforms, but where had that got him? Well, to ever so slightly higher platforms, which was sort of his point. Chris stared at Thomas with pure hatred. He seemed so very happy at their situation. Friends together, a brave fellowship of quadrilaterals on a quest for greatness.
Okay.
That would be fine. But it was all the obvious observation that Thomas was doing which grated. Every time they saw something vaguely new, Chris would hear a satisfied little from the vaulting idiot. He hoped the next portal would split them up, if only for a few levels.
Megnézem még egyszer, hogy... Oké. Abban oda kéne elős figyelnem. Látom. Oké. Szélszomság, piros.
He knew that this was his chance. A moment to shine. This was game day.
Perfect.
This would not do. John needed room to show off his exceptional skills. As it was, he was trapped on the wrong side of these little dot things.
Ez is egyszer nem egyszerű persze.
Where did they come from, anyway?
Én egy kis nehezebbnek hittem ezt a játékot.
John inhaled the air of the open space, and it smelled of awesome. Time to flex those muscles, to put his training to use, time to show those little dots how it was done. John decided to press the switch to let the little dots catch up with him. John cared for his new animals. You could tell from the sympathetic expression he'd practiced in the mirror all these years.
Mondjuk a játék címét én nem értem, lehet olvasnom kéne a történetet, és amit van, de egyébként úgy tudok. Jó. Megint oda szemlősítőtál. Káruk csak 30 000. Csak ezt az kicsit. Vagy majd a cétel. Akkor a cétel maradt. Az ez kell, most minden cételről. Szóval nem tudok van fölvenni. Aztán már a kult is nincs tovább, akkor te változhatsz. Ez pont kérdez. Úgy láttam a játék beállításait, és elméletileg valami... nem is tudom. Jó? Talán 8 karakter lesz?
John was happy to keep helping. He felt it was important to his image that he was seen to help the little guys.
Kérdezni fogok címszorulnak, vagy? Mégis csak visszahozom. Mit kellett volna visszahozni? Tényleg még ott is. Ezt tudod, nem tudok megülni. Tehát oda építünk egy lakkába. Nem összeszünk én is. Végül is már mind leszozunk. Remélem. Jó. Most vissza. Mentem. Én most hullanítom. Megőrzem. Itt pedig szerintem nem fog tudni felvenni. Akkor hagyom ezt.
He didn't mind them so much either. The red one, Thomas, had a charming way of applauding every time John jumped.
Azért nem csak kell felvenni, ez egész. Összességében tetszik a játék, de... lehet, hogy ez kicsit egyértelműbb is. Nem tudom, szerintem a 3-as ilyen akár még fogok elmenni.
The angry orange one was less immediately likeable, but his unremitting cynicism and tutting amused John.
Uzennel. Nem látszik. Ez most csak szövegkezik. Oké, csak szövegkezik. Viszont másodra ez nem tud felvenni. És azt hiszem ez is kész. Már csak be kell venni őket. Okay.
This was interesting. A floating target. This would require coordination, balance, and timing. John was sure the dots would be lost, but he was happy to guide them to triumph.
De kár, hogy látok, hogy ezt elfelejtkeztem. Én pedig valahogy nem fogom megtenni.
Maybe that's what the dots were for. They were there to extend John's reach, to make his performance even more impressive. John liked the thought. He decided to keep them.
Még számítottam el, hogy megközni. Oké, most jutottunk a második részre.
So, this was how Claire would die. She knew it would happen eventually.
A másik három hol van?
She was rubbish at jumping, and she moved slowly. She felt a little like her continued existence was breaking some kind of natural order. The crumbling pillar was a dramatic death, she supposed. Hey! What? Claire couldn't shake the feeling that she was not, in fact, dead. It was at that moment that Claire realised she had superpowers! So you need a cape. There was no getting around that. You couldn't be a superhero without a cape. Claire didn't want confusion.
Okay.
If you saw a cape, that made matters clear.
Oh,
You knew what you were dealing with. Claire was all about communication. And, you know, floating in water, which was her superpower.
Aminek a ezt visszafelé sem csináltam. Most ahelyre tudod,
Right! Fear not, my skinny friends, for I am Claire, and I will save you. Claire needed to come up with a superhero name as soon as possible. Claire was rubbish.
Hiszen a másik hangnak még elesíteni ezbe.
Claire arrived just in time, which was, of course, the perfect moment for superheroes to arrive. Claire arrived just in time, which was, of course, the perfect moment for superheroes to arrive.
Gondolom. Oké. Én türelmes vagyok.
As the water began to rise, Claire vowed to save this little rectangle in as many restarts as it took. Claire wondered if Thomas would make a good sidekick. Or was she more the lone Avenger type? She'd like that. A sole hero in a world of rectangles and conveniently placed pools of toxic water.
Nem szeretném a korábbi párokat. Mert akkor is nekem volt szedni ezt akármit.
The others told Claire that staircases were a bit of a fixture here. Claire wondered why the world made it so difficult.
Elméletileg Tomás az alun a játékcím, ami ment, mondom, hogy Tomás az a piros akármire vett, ahhoz képest most így a kettős szakaszban egyszer nem volt.
Probably needed a nemesis, a villain who would show their true colours at the worst possible moment, hurting all she held dear. Chris was the most obvious choice. He seemed stroppy enough, and his jump was so pathetic that it conveniently avoided Claire's insecurities. Yes, Chris. Diabolical Chris. The fiendish Christopher.
akkor most toljuk át ezeket is. Közben ezt is visszahozom. És így. Következő level. Ez érdekes level.
Where had Chris gone? Was he off somewhere? Plotting Claire's downfall? If Claire was honest, and she had to be because she was a superhero, this was a troubling turn of events. Still,
Mégis
there were
a fedre
reasonably sized bodies of water to cross.
kicsit sem zavar a mutációban a vizet. Most, hogy így megnézem. Oké. Gyorsan eszembe, hogy ezt legközelebb csinálom. Ez mindent tudott volna venni. Mindez? Most legalább annyival is rosszabb. Nem? És kész. Aha, persze.
Moving platforms over water, eh? Claire's newly heightened senses told her that there were multiple paths across with various possible configurations of the little posse.
Okay. Valahogy az egyszerűbb megoldások párszalát fogunk. Na. Ez lett. Na lássuk. Ez lett.
They were doing really well. Claire hoped she could get them all across. John was fully aware he could do this alone. Thomas hoped he'd never have to.
Oké, akkor vissza. Ide. Ez mi is ott történhetett? Emlékeztek, amikor azt mondtam, hogy ez a segít? Most nem gondoltam, hogy közben még idegesítődik benne. Viccesen, de mindeközben idegesítődik olyan ügyesség lenni. Azokat most ki. Gondolom azokról nem?
Was alone, which was odd, because she wasn't meant to be alone. She needed to be where there were rectangles to save.
Okay.
Being the only superhero in a given space kind of defeats the object. Spikes? That was new. Claire avoided them. She decided they were most likely her kryptonite.
Yeah.
Not the rubbish red kryptonite either, the proper radioactive green stuff.
Ez is kész. Kettőket tűz. Most ez ugyanazok áll, csak itt van meg. Piros is. Oké.
Wow. Deja vu.
Oh! Nem mondtam.
The world was repeating. And this time Thomas was here. Claire felt something had gone wrong. There was a disturbance in the force. Something had altered the matrix. The world was reacting to their progress. It was amassing its forces. It was plotting against them. Claire finally had a nemesis.
Nem biztos, hogy több is csinál. Jó. Most hogyan működsz le? Miért csináljuk ezt? Jól, nem csinálom semmit. Ezzel kell a színszög lenni, úgy tudom lett. Azt mondtam, hogy nem ez masszonyáson is így. Se második. Lett van különbség. Ez még belfél. Ennyi szintén még bőven belfél. Hiba áll. És... Geronimo! Azon... Nem úgy néz ki. Viszont ragadni mindez így a harmadik szakasz. Aha, akkor viszont ennyi lett volna már. Ha tesztetünk akkor lelkállátok, iratkozzatok fel. A dobjatok egy lájkot Facebook oldalon. Esetleg kövessetek Twitteren. Én Alapszint voltam. Ez volt a Tomás Vázálom című játéknak a Kipróbáltam része. Sziasztok!